Hey guys, before I continue this video in front of Banco do Brasil Americas on International Drive, United States, Orlando, look here. The Flamengo store has a Christmas sale on jerseys that you can't find in any other store in Brazil. You don't know what Christmas gift to give your family member or your friend? If you're here in Florida, in Orlando, come over here tomorrow. They're open until 7 post-meridium on December 24th until 7 post-meridium. You'll get it. Huge discounts here. Official Flamengo jersey, now sold out in many sizes in Brazil. It's available here for 69.90, matching Brazil's price after conversion. Come and take advantage. Look, before I continue with this video, I'm going to bring you some important information. Actually, 2 important pieces of information, right? Talking here about the Everton issue. Cebolinha de la Cruz, look, yeah. We even noticed that Tite is already trying to sign Gerson, trying to sign players he managed at Flamengo, okay? And this news that came out today about Cebolinha, that Cruzeiro is interested in signing the forward Everton Cebolinha. Rádio Itatiaia reports coach Tite admires the forward's play and asked Cruzeiro Sociedade Anônima do futebol owner Pedrinho to sign him. Cebolinha has also drawn interest from Atletico Mineiro, Grêmio, and São Paulo. However, the player is in Flamengo's plans for next season, and that could make it easier for number 11 to stay. Look, Flamengo wants to keep Cebolinha. Flamengo wants to make the most of Cebolinha, wants to count on Cebolinha, hoping he gets injured less, which is what happened. Flamengo hasn't been able to make the most of Cebolinha yet because he had some injuries. That's also the case with De La Cruz. Flamengo also wants a more intense year from De La Cruz. Flamengo hopes to make the most of both Cebolinha and Nicolas De La Cruz, just like they did with Arrascaeta. In 2025, Flamengo's plan is to make the most of these 2 big signings they've made recently, right? Flamengo spent heavily on both, aiming to renew with Cebolinha and maximize De La Cruz. So both players should be used a lot more at Mango, okay? So get ready, because when those 2 are on fire, Cebolinha is already playing really well. If he can stay healthy all season, and De La Cruz also getting more involved, getting more minutes, playing a lot more games, man, they're definitely going to make a difference. The 2 of them together are going to make a difference, okay? Look, José Boto made a statement here. In the beginning, there was the ball. About the South American market, he's saying that the South American market is, at this moment, too small for Flamengo's reality. I get where he's coming from. People criticize his statements, and I'll discuss that in this video. Look, he says that at this moment, it's small for what is the reality of Flamengo and Flamengo's culture. There's also an idea to introduce a more European culture to the club. And having these references we have today, Danilo, Jorginho, and Alexandre, who are examples of how they approach the profession, they end up influencing everyone else. That's when they ask if you'll sign a player from the South American market, etc. Man, so José Boto made it clear that Flamengo is going to look for more experienced players from European football and so on, not necessarily foreigners. Flamengo brought in Alexandre, Danilo, and Jorginho, who are Brazilians and can make a difference. Flamengo. Hey guys, red and black greetings. This is Flamengo. Welcome to the Paparazzo Rubro-Negro channel. Christmas is coming, and tomorrow, Christmas Eve, is a day to hold back a bit on eating. Because tomorrow is that day when we really go all out, right, my friend? But we have to take it easy so we don't gain weight, right? Everything is fattening. I'm even going to show up ready for it, right? Reminding you to subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification, and leave a cool like on the video, okay? We're always here reminding you that you can secure your Million Picks Benefits Club with the Million Picks. You can exchange your points for products and experiences. In addition, you can take part in important prize draws with instant prizes of up to 100,000 Rees. Raspo won it in his account. 3 prizes of 1 million Rees each. On December 31st at New Year's Eve, the New Year's prize, and on January 2nd, the 2 million Reais prize. All right, let's go. Our sponsors are listed in the pinned comment. Just a reminder, on our Instagram, we share tips, brought NBA yesterday, and both of us have won. Play responsibly. It's for 18 plus, it's fun, and it's an investment. You can register by using the link in the highlights, in the bio, and in the stories on our Instagram. Look, I have some information here to share with you, and I find all of this really strange. I'm seeing people criticize José Boto, saying that when he was quiet, things worked better, complaining that he's talking nonsense, that he's talking too much. I'd like to understand something, guys. What's the reason for these attacks on José Boto, right? From the folks in the press, I'm seeing a lot of people out there attacking José Boto. I actually think it's good that he doesn't talk much. I think it's good that he doesn't give many interviews. I find it interesting, more work and less talk. But he's on vacation, he's giving interviews over in Portugal, and people are talking about it here. He's speaking, for example, about what he said regarding Palmeiras. He didn't say anything major about Palmeiras. They're making a big fuss out of it. I saw the people at TNT, not VSR. VSR did well. But I'm talking about those at TNT who were with VSR, as if he had belittled Palmeiras at any moment. At no point did he belittle Palmeiras. He didn't belittle Palmeiras. He just spoke. He praised Palmeiras and said that Flamengo has it easy. Palmeiras has an easy time bringing up young players and making that transition. Flamengo struggles with that because of the pressure from the fans, which is less for Palmeiras. It's not that Palmeiras is less great than Flamengo as a club, right? He's talking about the pressure issue. And then we see a lot of people on X everywhere criticizing José Boto, attacking José Boto, to say the least. The guy didn't say anything, guys. He didn't say anything. Come on. I think it's fine. When he says Felipe Luiz is ready for Europe, he means Felipe's quality, not that he wants Felipe to leave. I've already said here, José Boto will stay at Flamengo. Felipe will stay at Flamengo. José Boto will look for signings, and we need that too. And look, I have the right to say this because I've criticized José Boto a lot, but we have to praise what José Boto has been doing. If you stop to think about when he was going to sign Mickey Johnson, the Irish Mickey, the fans, everyone complained and didn't want Flamengo to sign him. He went there and he listened to the fans. He wasn't arrogant. He wasn't cocky. He listened and he accepted that it wasn't being well received. And he didn't sign him, and he looked for other names in the market. He signed Juninho Zereca, and it didn't work out at Flamengo. As much as we rooted for him, he didn't get enough opportunities. He couldn't stand out at Flamengo. Juninho and José Boto did what? He went there and sold Juninho for the same amount he bought him for. There was no loss at all. Charlie Alcaraz, José Boto's first move. Some people criticized, but he went there and saw that Flamengo had signed Braz, and Felipe didn't want the player. Actually, it's not that he didn't want him, but the player wasn't as useful as Felipe thought. He went there and sold the player for almost the same amount, a little less, but close to what Flamengo spent. He solves issues incredibly fast. He recalculates the route. He makes things happen. I think that's extremely important. And then he brings Carrasco to replace the Argentine I just mentioned, right? Charlie, Alcaraz. He signed Alcaraz, Flamengo, Braz. He sold Alcaraz, got the money back, and then he brings in Carrascal. If I mentioned Carrascal before, it was my mistake. He brings in Carrascal. Today we're playing much better than Carrascal, playing much better than Charlie. Alcaraz. Man, but it's a mix-up here between Alcaraz and Carrascal. Okay, Alcaraz, who left, went to the Premier League. Carrascal, Boto brought him in. And today, Carrascal is working much better than Alcaraz. So those were some really interesting changes. I think it deserves praise, especially for how quickly it's being done. It's the signing of Simeone. It was an expensive signing, but he's already received a bigger offer. Now it's about Arrascaeta's recovery and other situations. He made some statements. Obviously, people criticize the situation with Pedro and everything. But come on, who doesn't make mistakes? Who doesn't make mistakes? And he made a mistake, he corrected it, and Rota got it right. I see Flamengo as the most successful Flamengo of all time. The only thing missing was the Club World Cup. But if you think about it, there are more titles now than in 81 or 2019, and Filipe has more than Jorge Jesus. There are a lot of good decisions by José, Boto, and of course, everyone makes mistakes, but there are a lot of good decisions by Boto, okay? I don't get why there's so much criticism. He's staying at Flamengo and waiting there. BAP's announcement is about Boto's possible new contract, right? Also with a raise. We're waiting to see BAP announce that and also announce Felipe Luiz's contract renewal, right? Also announce Flamengo's new signings. Yeah, and we also have an important situation to talk about here, which I think Flamengo shouldn't spare any effort to renew. With Felipe Luiz. Today, if Felipe Luiz leaves, you even question Jorge Jesus. Can he do what Felipe Luiz is doing today? Jorge Jesus did something in 2019, but you can't know if he'll repeat it with Felipe in 2026. You're more sure he'll do in 2026 what he did in 2025 than that Jorge Jesus will come, right? Today, the reality for Flamengo is to pay a fair amount to Felipe Luiz, not think twice, and sign him. Now, the news is good, man. The news is spectacular, and we have it to bring to you in this video. Here it's the Simeone issue, okay? It's about Simeone, man. This news for me is the most important of the week, okay? Andy Simeone, the coach of Atletico de Madrid, he will stay at Atletico de Madrid for 3 more years. That's guaranteed. Let's hope Felipe gets the 1 year and 8 months he needs to stay. I've already explained to you Felipe's credentials. Felipe has the A and B licenses. He will get the pro license from the Brazilian Football Confederation. But for Felipe to be able to coach a club in Europe, he needs to have 3 years, besides the license, 3 years in a Brazilian first division club or a national team. And Felipe doesn't have that. And him? To do that, he must stay at Flamengo and not coach or leave for another Brazilian club. Then what? He would need to stay until the end of 2027 to complete 3 years with Flamengo. To win the Copa do Brasil in 2024, right? By 2027, Felipe will have spent 3 years at Flamengo. And then he could think about coaching a club in Europe, but he won't want to go to Europe to coach just any club. He won't join a second-tier club. He'll want a top-tier one. Which comes to mind? First, Atletico de Madrid. If it's not Atletico de Madrid. He'll remain at Flamengo unless he gets a Premier League offer, but Flamengo and Atletico de Madrid will always be his priorities. And Simeone's contract renewal is great news because it makes Felipe consider fulfilling his contract with Flamengo and stay there at least until 2027. And he can indeed have 3 years at a top division club in Brazil, and he can coach a European club. Okay, that gives Flamengo a lot of security, so that's the news. Atletico de Madrid is expected to offer Diego Simeone a contract renewal for the 9th time, okay? The main reason is that in these 13 years, Simeone was fundamental in helping and multiplying the club's value by 5. According to the newspaper Marca, the daily Marca from Spain. So Simeone is renewing his contract. Then he will receive an offer to renew his contract with Atletico de Madrid and will stay there for another 2 or 3 years. Enough time for Felipe Luiz to complete 3 years at Flamengo, 3 years of titles with Flamengo. God willing, Felipe Luiz will be doing great, right? Should I say Felipe Luiz? BAP, Felipe Luiz staying until the end of BAP's term? Is there a chance of that happening? Yes, it's very important news, you see. Flamengo reached the mark of 545 million earned from player transfers in 2025. In total, there were 6 player departures. It's worth noting that the club's initial plan projected revenue of 228 million from player sales. Take a look at the amounts in the players Flamengo negotiated to reach these records. It's over 500 million in sales. Wesley to Roma for 25 million euros, that's 162 million reais. Gerson to Zenit for 160.6 million reais, 25 million euros. Also, Charlie Alcaraz to Everton for 15 million euros, 96 million reais. Mateus Gonçalves to Awali for 8 million euros, 50.5 million reais. Fabricio Bruno to Cruzeiro for 7 million euros, 44 million reais. Juninho to Pumas for 5 million euros, 32.3 million reais. That's a total of 545 million reais in sales. more than $500 million in sales at Flamengo. Okay? Look, just to bring up one more detail here about Simeone's contract renewal with Atletico de Madrid. Yeah, look, the management's idea is to renew Simeone's contract until the end of 2027. So, we're talking about 26, 27, it matches up exactly, okay? I was thinking it was 2 or 3 years, but it's 2 years until the end of 27. The board should handle this agreement in 2026, so Simeone stays until 2027, right? He would stay 1 more year. Since he already has until 26, he would stay until 27, okay? So it would be 2 more years. That's enough time. Felipe Luiz reaching 3 years at Flamengo and earning his right to coach a club in Europe. And then Simeone leaves and Felipe Luiz comes in, God willing, right? How does he stay 5, 6 years at Flamengo? But that's his wish. It's his dream, right? He's been in charge since 2011, okay? And if the renewal is confirmed, Atletico de Madrid would no longer be a threat, at least for now, to Felipe Luiz's continuity as the head of Flamengo soccer. It's really good news, like I said, and now we're wrapping it up here, right? So I'm really happy with this news. Look, we have the prize going on, right? The Kings of America Award, right? The King of America is happening, the King of America Award, and we have, look, the finalists, okay? Players from Flamengo, Inter, Miami, and Racing are finalists for the King of America. Arrascaeta from Flamengo is one of the 3 finalists for the King of America Award. The Uruguayan will compete for the America's Best Player Award with Adrian Martinez of Racing and Anel Messi of Inter Miami. The winner will be announced on December 31st. If Arrascaeta wins the award, he will be the 5th player to become the King of America wearing the Flamengo jersey. Zico, Roberto, Gabriel Barbosa, and Pedro have all won this honor in the sacred jersey. Okay, so the King of America now, right? It's against Martinez and Messi, okay? So, today Arrascaeta is playing better than Messi, huh? You have to deal with it. Today, Arrascaeta is playing better than Messi. I'm here to tell you that Mané Garrincha and Arena da Amazônia are competing to host the Supercopa do Brasil. The match will take place on January 24th between Flamengo and Corinthians in Manaus. And Brasilia, right? Arena da Amazônia and Mané Garrincha are competing to host the Super Cup final, as the Brazilian Football Confederation is interested in scheduling it. A permanent location could always be Brasilia Mané Garrincha, a fixed place for this Super Cup final to happen. And the decision should be made with the tournament details in the next few weeks. People need to know, right? People have to buy tickets. Otherwise, if it's last minute, it gets expensive. Hey, Brazilian Football Confederation, let's sort this out, right? We'll say goodbye here, reminding you that on the 24th Christmas Eve, we're open until 7 post-meridium. Here, the Mengão store at São Rubro-Negro is right in front of Banco do Brasil Américas. Directly here from Orlando, the only store of a South American club outside South America is the Mango store. You can get it for the same price as in Brazil. It's already sold out everywhere in Brazil. The Manto one, you can find the historic jersey from all the 2025 titles, the historic jersey, for $69.90. Here in dollars, which is practically the same value as in Brazil. And here you can find it available in various sizes. You can see that it's the best Christmas gift. Come here. It's open from 10 in the morning to 7 at night, the Mango store on Orlando International Drive. Guys, it's waiting for you. Come on over. Greetings, red and black. This is Flamengo. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications by clicking the bell, and leave a cool like on the video, all right?